Hello lovelies, it's me again, and before today's video I want to real quick apologize for last week's video. The editing and everything was kind of a freaking mess, and to be honest, I filmed and edited that entire video the night before I uploaded it. Literally I finished at like 3:30 a.m. and then it uploaded at 2:30 p.m. the next day, so it was a complete disaster, but I still wanted to fulfill my promise of at least uploading one video a week, and here I am again today, totally not doing the same thing. But I wanted to do this video as this is my life 1 year after moving to Korea to work as a model. And I wanted to talk about at least one special thing that happened every month this year and share it with you guys. So I started this channel again last year, and my first video was I moved to South Korea with an E6 visa. And I am really glad that I got a lot of questions from that one, because I wanted to be able to help you guys a little bit. But to be completely honest, I wasn't in a really good place to help other people at that time, because I was also like a very amateur model, and I've learned a lot in a year. I've learned so many good things, and I kind of want to share those tips with you and also just take you along with me in my journey while I've lived here. So let's get started. And I also want to say just sorry if I look a little messy. I was out all day and my phone is kind of broken, so today I'm not filming with my phone anymore. Yay! I hope the quality is better. So please just hang in there with me. I know I fluctuate. I'm all over the place, but I really want to try harder for my YouTube channel next year. I want to try harder for all my social medias next year. I really feel myself growing here, so let's get started with the list. Okay, so as you all know, I moved here last November, and I uploaded my first video shortly after that. So I want to say that I will not include those few months. I'm only going to include things from this year, 2023. So actually I'll show you guys some things I never showed you before because I was nervous to, but I realized I can show you actually. So I did a music video with a girl group called Limelight, and it was their debut music video. And it was really so fun. I'll show you guys this clip. It's so funny because I was so nervous, right? Look at how silly I look here. They just told us to dance. It was so awkward, but it was so funny. And I love those girls. I really hope they go far. They're hard workers. It was such a crazy time. Okay, I was the only one jamming out to this song on the whole set. Everyone else was sick of it. And that is so funny, right? There's me behind the scenes. It was such a cute shoot. I really enjoyed it. This is what made me love music video shoots. And I think this was the best first experience for it ever, because they were so kind and it was so fun. Like, it's so fun to be on set of a music video. Especially K-pop, because it's crazy, right? Like, look at us go. Oh sheesh, can you see? We had to cheer. Woo, go girl! And look at the camera, it's so cool. It like it flies all over the place on this robot arm, and it gets like the most amazing angles. If you haven't watched their music video for Honestly, you should. It's so cute. And also I can't speak, I'm sorry. Also in January, another really amazing thing that happened to me is I worked with IVE, yes, on their VCR. So I already talked about this in a past video, but if you're curious, just like look up the IVE Prom Queens VCR and you'll see me standing next to Wonyoung. And it was so amazing to meet her. So I think those are my top level things that happened to me in January. Okay, for February, I think the most important or big event that happened to me is I got my like first shoot photos that would really level up my comp card. So before that, I had some studio ones that my friend took for me, and honestly those really got me in the door of like getting better jobs and like being taken seriously here. And I'm sure that all models can agree how important it is to have a strong comp card and a strong book, so that when you apply for jobs, like you can show them your capabilities, you can show them your style. Basically it's just who you are. Like they go, who are you, like what type of model are you? They look at your comp card. So in February, my boyfriend helped me take these shots, and these would really become an important part of my comp card. And it's so funny, like brands especially, they're in love with this photo. They are in love with this photo that my boyfriend took of me, and it's everywhere. Even my current agency uses this photo as like one of my 대표 사진, like the photo that introduces me. I think it's very Korean style, so I'm glad he took it. But honestly, I like some of the other ones more, but I guess those are American style. But yeah, this was a really big thing for me, because even though a lot of the photos are honestly not that good, like it was not, I didn't pay for anything. I used my old agency's studio and we just really winged it. And I had my boyfriend shoot me and my friends some profile photos. So that was a big event for me. Not to mention it was also Fashion Week. So I got some nice free pictures from Fashion Week. I really like this one. I really like this one and this one. It's nice, right? So those were really big for me in February. And I want to mention real quick, I actually had a tooth procedure done, and that was life-changing for me. So I went to the dentist here, and I was telling him about how I was insecure about how one of my teeth was longer than the other. This one, it's a bit longer than that one, so I had it shaved, and it was the best decision ever. This is right after it was done, and I think you can see how it's not completely fixed, but it's way more even. And since then, I am so much more confident in my smile. So those are the biggest, most important things that happened for me during February. Okay, so March was also a really big month for me because it was the first time I got a job that paid over 500,000 won, and you guys do not know how happy I was. I was really struggling before that to like secure good jobs, and it's because I was still like an amateur, like I didn't know much. And my first job that paid really well was for Getty Images Korea, and it was like a tourism themed stock images shoot. So that's where I met one of my closest Korean model friends right now. And it was so funny that day. Like, this is what we were doing all day, right? Oh. Sorry, you didn't hear that, okay? That's copyrighted music. This is what we did all day. We were like in Korean looking places and we were taking stock images. But it was really fun. You know, they gave us like Korean barbecue, but it was really funny because a lot of the pictures where we're like about to eat it, it's literally raw meat. But anyways, that was a really big month for me because that was my first really high-paying job. So April was also really important to me because that was my first ever spring in Korea where I got to see the cherry blossoms. And maybe it's silly and stupid, but I was so incredibly happy. I had never seen them in person before, and I know it's weird all the years I've been coming to Korea, but I had never seen spring season here ever. So I was really, really excited for it, and I'm really, really excited for it again next year. Was that I had my first ever outside shoot, and I got some of these beautiful pictures of me with the cherry blossoms. This is actually one of my favorite photos of me. It's not really good for getting jobs, but it's a beautiful photo, I think. and I really enjoy them. That actually produced one of my favorite photos of me, which is this one where I'm in front of an azalea bush, and I love it. It's so my vibe. It's like dreamy and soft, so I really love those pictures. And do you guys think I look better with darker hair or with this more lighter hair? Because honestly, I can never decide. When it gets too washed out and brassy, I always have an urge to dye it back darker, but this is too dark. But I still get a lot of compliments on it, so I don't really know. Tell me what you think. Okay, sorry, one last thing that was big for me in April is I had my first lookbook shoot. It was for a shoe brand, and I really love the pictures. They're all kind of like this vibe, and I thought they would edit them more, but kind of low-key I love the rustic vibe with this. So that also really excited me because it was my first ever lookbook shoot. Okay, for May, it was kind of like a chill month, but I was still getting into my groove. And I had my second ever lookbook shoot, and it was for a casual wear brand, but they were not constrictive with how I could pose. So I was really trying to eat it up. Wait, I'll turn down the brightness. I was really trying to go like crazy with these poses, and I was trying to be like creative with them. This one, obviously, no, I'm like the standing emoji. But, oh wait, LOL. Forgive me for a second. But, yeah, I really like that shoot because it allowed me to practice posing more and get like more comfortable with posing. And of course, you know, a lot of these are basic, but it's still casual clothes, you guys. I can't go too ham on it, you know. I still gotta be like casual and like I gotta look comfortable. I can't be doing too crazy. But it was still amazing for me. And also in May, I had my another really big shoot that was really good for my portfolio, because brands really like this picture of me where I'm standing like this. I took this for a friend's vintage shop website, and they really like this style of me. And you know, actually, I just realized maybe it's because of these pictures, but when I do shoots, they're constantly curling my hair like this. Like they want it to be really wavy and curly, even though my hair isn't naturally like that. And I think it's because of this shoot, because in this shoot, that was the concept. And yeah, I have like curly hair here, and brands are obsessed with this style for me. So yeah, I'll get into that about the tips at the end. And it's really important because what photos you show in your comp card and portfolio in Korea, that is going to be the exact same things that they want from you. So I learned this year. It's a really big deal. What Koreans see is what they want. They are not really the imaginative types when it comes to looking at people's portfolios and looking at who you are as a model. What you see is what you get here. And what you want to do, you have to have a picture like that already in your portfolio. I learned this really big this year, and I think it's why I missed out on so many jobs that I wanted. And it's because I didn't have any similar photos like that in my book, okay? So that's a really important tip that I want to share with you guys. Okay, I'm back after a tea break. Remember to stay hydrated, my babies. Okay, back to business. I want to say that real quick, another really amazing thing that happened to me in May was that I met one of my closest friends, and I filmed with the Japanese girl group Niju. That's when we did their VCR, and you guys should know how much I love them by now, but they can have my whole heart, and that's the truth. Okay, so for June, it was also another slow month, but I think one thing really important that happened to me was that some of my friends from overseas came to visit, and it made me realize like just how fast my life had changed in these times since like I met them for the first time years ago when I came to Korea for the first time, because these were the same friends that like I was with when I first came to Korea in 2019, and it made me really realize, like, wow, in 4 years I've gone back and forth, and somehow I've managed to like live here long term, and it really put things into perspective for me. And we went on this beautiful cruise on the Han River. Unforgettable views. That's honestly a big thing that happened for me in June, I think. Like, just realizing how far I've come. And not to mention, I filmed with stray kids at that time. Here's a little behind the scenes. That's me taking a mirror selfie in the waiting room after we got done filming. LOL. I guess I just cannot help myself to take a mirror selfie. Like, it's that ridiculous. And I also met the Korean indie ballad singer Casey. So that's me with her, and we all did a YouTube video together. I linked it in my community tab if you want to see it, where I met her. That was a really fun experience too. Okay, so July was a really happy month for me because I had my first skincare shoot. Woo! And my first ever skincare shoot was honestly mind-blowing to me because it was with Holika for their Amazon US store. And that was just such a fun experience, and like, you can really see me trying to get the groove of being a beauty model. It was low-key a struggle at first, but I think I've come a long way. Like, I've definitely learned a lot. I've learned my angles, I've learned what I need to fix, and I really just feel like I've grown so much since then as well. Okay, so I want to move on to August. This was my first shoot as like a sub model for a commercial, and what it was for is this chicken brand here. It was a commercial for a chicken brand called Fast Chicken, Boughton Chicken, and this is me like backstage getting my makeup done, and then this is me outside in the camera. I had to like be shocked at this guy riding a motorcycle. It was so funny. That was the whole concept, really, but that was a big like accomplishment for me. I felt really like excited and proud, like I'm a sub model in a commercial now, you guys. Like, look at me, look how far I've come. I had to sit in this car and act like I can drive. They were like, can you drive? I was like, no, I very cannot drive. But I acted like I drove, so I think everything turned out really well. And that was it for August pretty much. Okay, so for September, I think a really amazing thing was that I got to attend almost every day of, I got to attend almost every day of Seoul Fashion Week. And I also got a lot of free tickets to Seoul Fashion Week. And that was just stunning. Like, I attended this one show and it was my favorite. Look how amazing they did their whole thing last year. Like, it was so fun to watch these and like be able to attend all of these fashion shows. It really took me back to like why I wanted to become a model in the first place, and I just respect them so much as walking models. It is really a lot more difficult than just walking, you guys. So please show love for all the types of models: commercial models, beauty models, lookbook models, fitting models. I all respect you because I've done a little bit of everything now and none of it is easy. So that was really an amazing experience for me, and I can't wait until next Seoul Fashion Week. I can't wait to attend more shows, and I can't wait to support these models and designers for next year's collection as well. Okay, so I can't not mention this, but September was also amazing because it's when I was in the 17 music video. And I think you all like have seen me publicize that enough by now. But it was just so amazing, and I still can't believe S-Coops even posted me on his Instagram in the background looking like a complete crazy person. But that was still a really big milestone for me too. Okay, you guys, I think that October was a really important time for me because that's where I got my best profile photos currently, and they're these ones. I hope you've seen them on my Instagram. I made a reel about them and it did really well. But I absolutely loved this day because it's when I got in contact with my current favorite makeup artist friend and photographer friend who did like just so well helping me and to create these beautiful, beautiful profile photos. I absolutely love them. These are one of my favorites ever. I love how I turned out in these. Absolutely stunning. And I'll give another piece real quick of advice on modeling here. You need to collaborate with photographers. If you're worried about spending a lot of money on profile photos for your portfolio and for your comp card, do collaborations because there are plenty of amazing, amazing photographers out there who need to also practice, you know? Like if you're an amateur or even if you're not, if you have a friend who's a photographer, you guys should collaborate. Like they need a portfolio, you need a portfolio. So help each other out, and really it's amazing because you have freedom in that time. You don't have a time restraint. You can do whatever style you want. You can really have freedom to practice posing, practice different lightings, different styles, figure out what angles suit you. And your photographer can figure out like how to do all of their stuff, like what lighting is good for them, what equipment to use. So keep in mind, like because you're both learning, you know, there's a learning curve and a lot of the photos might not turn out as good as you want. But if you work together well, then they can turn out amazing like mine did for me, like these. These really have helped me come a long way in my modeling career, and I think you can tell just by the photos throughout the year that I have. You can see me growing and learning. So just also like never think you know everything. Like you can always get better. You can always like hone in your skills. You can always learn more about the industry. And I think that's really important as well to keep in mind if you want to be a model in any country, really. Okay, I'll just say it for November real quick because I feel like that month I was mostly focusing on like my personal life, but that was the month where I really started creating better comp cards and I started getting a lot more jobs, and that's the month I also got too obsessed with perfume. I know that's random, but I think the biggest thing that happened for me was that was the month when one of my first vlogs went really viral here on YouTube. Not viral, but like it did really well. And it was this vlog where this is the thumbnail and I talk about me working on set here. And I was so happy when I just saw that randomly get so much natural growth. So if you guys want to see more vlogs like that, please tell me and I will definitely upload them. I would love to give you guys advice if you want on modeling here. I think what I basically want to wrap up, and I've left little nuggets throughout this video, but it's really important if you want to work as a model. You need to realize that unless you're an exclusive model with a lot of experience and you're at a good agency already, you need to work for yourself, okay? You're basically a freelancer, right? I'm a freelancer, so my situation might be different from yours, but I came here as a really amateur model. I had to start from the ground up. If you already have experience, like I know for a fact it will be easier for you, but I had to build my book. I had to, you know, find who to collab with, stylists, outfits, hair and makeup artists. Am I gonna do it myself? Make sure you have a good book. Make sure you're honing in on your skills. Make sure that you know what type of modeling you want to do. Do you want to do commercialing, lookbooks, fashion, beauty and makeup, sports modeling, fittings, or do you want to be a runway walking model? Like, and then you can have a clear definition of what you need to do on your to-do list. So also I want to say low-key, like this should be obvious, but if you want to be a model in Korea specifically, I think you should know Korean unless you want to have a really hard time and unless you want to limit yourself to the amount of jobs you can do, because there's a lot of agencies who only speak Korean, and unless you're hiring an interpreter, you got to know a little bit. So you guys can do this. let's all get better in the new year as well, and Happy New Year and happy holidays, my lovelies. I'll see you in 2024.